you. There's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I really want to discuss it with you.
Oh, Rosa, I've already asked you multiple times about this, but could you please stop calling me by my first name? It's really starting to cause some trouble, especially at work. People have started noticing, and it's becoming a bit awkward. I really don't want to make things uncomfortable for anyone, especially since we work so closely together.
You're so why, aren't you? But, I really want to call you by your first name. You're my subordinate here, but I think it would be a good way to bridge the distance between us. I'm your superior, and I'd really appreciate it if you could just accept it. It's a small thing, don't you think? I really doubt that anyone is going to care about me being a bit closer to you.
Isn't that a bit of an abuse of power? I mean, we're colleagues first and foremost. Shouldn't there be a certain professional boundary? You have to admit it feels like you're overstepping just a little bit.
Actually, there's something I've been thinking about. I think you should call me by my first name, too. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? We'd seem even closer, like we were on more equal footing. I mean, we're adults, right? Plus, if you do it, we could be more open, more relaxed with each other. It would make it seem like we've got a really strong working relationship. It's kind of an advantage, don't you think?
Please, don't do that. I really can't afford any rumors getting out. If people start talking, I'll be in serious trouble. I've worked hard to establish my professional reputation, and I don't want anything to mess that up. You know how sensitive things can get at the office?
Oh, I understand. I won't push it then. But I want you to know that I'm doing this out of kindness. I'm being generous, just letting it go for now. You can thank me later. I'm very accommodating, aren't I?
Right, yes, I appreciate it. I know you mean well, but this is just a bit tricky for me.
Oh, that reminds me of something. There's something I've been meaning to ask you for a while now.
Huh? What's that?
Well, I've been dying to ask you about something. It's been bugging me for some time, and I can't hold it in anymore. I'm sorry if this seems a bit sudden, but I've been curious.
Something you want to ask me? I don't really know what this is about.
Yes, you do. I know you've been trying to keep it under wraps, but I've got a pretty good sense of what's been going on. I'm not blind, you know.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, don't pretend like you don't know. It's clear as day. You don't need to keep hiding it from me. I've already figured it out, so there's no point in keeping up the act anymore.
I'm sorry, I really don't understand. Could you just tell me what you're talking about?
Oh, you're really making me spell it out for you? Why do you always do this? You know you're really difficult sometimes.
Rosa, I really don't know what you're referring to. Can you just tell me?
Wait, seriously? You really don't know what I'm talking about? I thought you were smarter than this. Okay, fine, I'll give you a hint, but you really should have figured it out by now.
A hint? All right, go ahead, I'm listening.
Your friend, Robert, the one who sits next to you at work, right? He's been your friend for years, even before you started at the company. You know him well, don't you?
Yes, that's true. Robert and I go way back, but what does this have to do with anything? Did Robert say something? Did he do something I should know about?
Well, he's got quite a reputation for gossiping, doesn't he? You know how he is, always talking about other people behind their backs. The other day I overheard him talking to someone about you. It was about something important. Something personal. I wasn't particularly fond of him before, but after hearing that conversation, I felt like I should at least thank him for letting me in on the secret. If he hadn't said anything, I would still be in the dark, so I guess for once I owe him a little gratitude.
I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't.
Oh, you're really making me work for it, aren't you? You're being so dense. All right, let me jog your memory. Think really hard. Robert, that guy who sits next to you, you told him something pretty significant recently. You should remember.
Wait, are you talking about the engagement? The thing with my partner?
Yes, that's exactly it. You're getting married. You've been keeping it a secret from me, but honestly, I'm not surprised. Everyone else seems to know about it now, thanks to Robert.
Well, yes, it's true that I'm getting married. I've already told some of my friends about it, but what's the issue? Why are you so worked up about this?
You wanted to keep it a surprise, didn't you? But I really think things like this should be discussed between the two of us first, not just broadcasted to everyone. It's a huge step, and it's something you should have shared with me before telling everyone else. I mean, I get that you're excited, but proposing is a pretty big deal. You haven't even done that yet, and here you are telling Robert about it like it's already done.
Excuse me, I don't see the problem here.
Problem is that you didn't even tell me, the one involved in this, before sharing it with everyone else. You just assumed it was okay to tell other people first. That's what's wrong. You should have come to me first. I mean, we've been through so much together, and I thought we had a better understanding than this.
Wait, why would I need to tell you first? Why is this such a big deal to you?
Well, I thought it was obvious. Of course I'll say yes when the time comes. I'm thrilled. I heard Robert say something about getting a promotion through some sort of power move, but don't worry, I'll make sure your dad knows about everything too. He'll be in the loop.
I'm sorry, but I still don't understand what you're saying.
It's simple. I'm saying that we should be looking at wedding venues already. We need to start planning the details.
I think there's been some serious misunderstanding here. I'm not marrying you, Rosa.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You've got to be kidding me. How did you misunderstand all of this?
I don't know what's going on right now. Are you saying you and I aren't a couple?
No, Rosa, I've been with someone else. We've been together since college, and yes, we're getting married. I thought you knew this.
Oh, come on, stop with the jokes. You can't be serious. You may not have taken me out on dates or called me by my name, but there was always something. There was always something between us. I know it. You might not admit it, but it's there.
So now you're telling me that everything that's happened between us somehow means we're together? It's completely ridiculous. I didn't do anything to make you think that. What exactly did you misunderstand? What part of our interactions made you believe we were a couple?
Well, I mean, when you greeted me with a smile at work, when you praised me for my work, when you were so kind and attentive to me. How could I not think there was something there? You were always so considerate.
And that's where you're wrong. Do you really think I would give you special treatment because I have romantic feelings for you? You're my boss, Rosa. I've been nothing but professional. There's no room for misinterpretation. It's just basic courtesy at work, nothing more.
Oh, please, don't try to brush it off so easily. I'm not a fool. You even told me you liked me when I asked. Don't you remember that?
You're confusing things. All I said was yes when you asked if I liked you. But that was just a polite response. It wasn't an admission of any deep feelings for you. There was nothing more to it than that. I didn't deny it because there was no point in doing so. But honestly, I didn't mean it the way you took it.
Why do you have to be so cruel about it now? You're making me feel like an idiot for even believing in the possibility. How can you just throw away everything like that?
I'm not being cruel, Rosa. I'm just being honest. The truth is hard, but it's the truth. You've built this whole fantasy in your head, and I don't think it's fair to either of us to pretend that it was anything more than a professional relationship.
But I thought there was more to it. When you were talking about promotions and power, I thought that you were talking about us. I thought I was special to you, that me getting married to you would give me some kind of advantage because of your father's position. Wasn't that your plan?
You really think I would use a relationship like that to get ahead? If I were going to use someone to climb the ladder, it wouldn't be you, Rosa. It's not about power or using connections. And you're mistaken if you thought this had anything to do with your father's influence in the company. I have no interest in manipulating my way through life like that.
But you said to Robert that you were using connections for a promotion. I thought you meant you were talking about me and about how my father could help you move up. That was the whole reason behind everything, wasn't it?
No, you've got it all wrong. What I said to Robert was about the fact that I won't use anyone for promotion. Your father's position doesn't affect my choices. It's a simple truth. If you'd really listened, you'd know that I said it's not about your family's influence at all. This is something personal that I'm doing on my own merit.
Then, what's going on? What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me that we're not connected in any way? That you and I have nothing at all?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're reading far too much into all of this. My relationship with you is professional. I'm focused on my work, and that's all there is to it. I'm sorry you misunderstood, but that's the truth.
No, this isn't possible. You can't just act like this doesn't matter. You can't make me feel like this was all in my head when you played along with it. When you told me things like you liked me, when you treated me differently from others, and now you're pretending it was all nothing.
You've got it wrong, Rosa. I never led you on. I never promised anything. I treated you well, yes, but that was as a colleague. Don't make it into something more than it is. I thought we were clear about this, but it seems I didn't communicate properly. I'm sorry you felt led on, but that was never my intention.
You never intended to lead me on, but your actions did lead me on. When you said those things, when you told me that you liked me, I took them at face value. I trusted you.
I understand how you might have interpreted things that way, but I swear to you it wasn't intentional. I never wanted you to feel like this. If I had known you felt this way, I would have been more careful. But the way you've taken everything and blown it out of proportion is unfair to me, too.
I don't know what to say to you now. All this time, I thought you were the one for me. I thought I had a chance, that this could work. But now I am nothing more than just another colleague to you. You never saw me as anything else, did you?
I didn't think of you like that, no. I didn't look at you through any lens other than as a coworker. I treated you the same way I treat anyone else at work. The feelings you've developed are your own, but I never encouraged them. You misread the signals, and now we're in this situation.
I don't know if I can accept that. You have hurt me more than you know. I thought you were someone I could rely on, someone who would understand me. But instead, you've turned this into a professional obligation, and it's like nothing we had matters anymore. You really have no feelings for me, do you?
I don't want to hurt you, Rosa, but the truth is that I don't feel for you in the way you want me to. We both need to move forward and focus on what we need to do in this office. Let's leave this behind us for the sake of both of us. We can't keep pretending that there was something here when there wasn't. You need to face the facts.
I don't know how I can face the facts. All I wanted was to matter to you. I wanted us to be something real. But now it's like everything was just a lie.
It wasn't a lie. It was a misunderstanding. We were colleagues. We had a working relationship and nothing more than that. I'm sorry if you thought otherwise, but that's the truth. And for both of us, it's time to let it go.
So that's it? You're just going to walk away from this like it was nothing?
I'm not walking away from anything, but I can't keep pretending. You need to understand that this wasn't anything more than what it was. And I need to focus on my work as I always have.
I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive you for this. Not after everything you've done. I don't know how to move on, but I guess I'll have to. You've made it clear there's no room for me in your life.
I never meant for you to get hurt, but this isn't something I can change. It's time for both of us to move on for our sake and the sake of the work we do here. I'm sorry it's come to this. After that, she was fired and transferred to a regional department far from the main office. The shift in power was dramatic, and it was clear that her influence had finally been curbed. At this point, there was no way she could continue to harass anyone. Her hold over the office had been completely dismantled. While no one openly expressed their relief, it was obvious to everyone that a weight had been lifted. Robert, along with the others who had supported the efforts to bring the situation to an end, kept their joy quiet, but their satisfaction was clear. They had been dealing with this for far too long, and the frustration that had been building up in all of them was now dissipating. She had used her position of power, particularly her relationship with the vice president, to let her daughter behave however she wanted, which had disrupted the workplace for a considerable amount of time. It was also rumored that her actions had influenced her own salary and that of the vice president significantly, although those details weren't widely discussed. Still, The general feeling was that there had been some sort of unwarranted benefit for both of them, which only added to the resentment within the office. With her departure, the workplace seemed to breathe easier. The tension that had been so pervasive was now gone. The environment began to feel more calm and cooperative. People didn't have to worry about arbitrary favoritism or underhanded tactics interfering with their work. It felt like the first step toward restoring fairness, and that alone was enough to lift everyone's spirits. As for me, well, my personal life had changed and I had gotten married, but at work everything was still much the same. There were no sudden promotions or dramatic shifts in my career, but I wasn't surprised by that. I had made peace with the idea that progress would take time. For the time being, I remained focused on doing my job well and improving where I could. It was clear, though, that the path to promotion now had fewer distractions, and I would have to climb on my own merits. The reality of corporate life had set in. No more relying on personal connections or shortcuts. It was all about proving yourself and continuing to develop. It had always been like this, but the events with her had highlighted just how important it was to rely on my own skills, hard work, and determination. It wasn't enough to just show up or be involved anymore. I had to earn my place. This realization was both sobering and motivating. I knew that while there were challenges ahead, this was the moment to focus more on personal growth than ever before. The temptation to use my position or any personal connections was there, but I knew I had to resist. I had to build my reputation based on the quality of my work. The company was shifting toward a more balanced and fair environment, and I wanted to be part of that change. It wasn't going to be easy, but I was committed to making it work. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.